stopping ivory smugglers in their tracks. How researchers are using forensic science to help close in on the African cartels responsible for the illegal trade. Clearing the air. New protocols announced to manage background levels of dangerous drugs like fentanyl in chemistry labs. And the unique Air Force program that sent a career service member to NFSTC at FIU to learn more about the industry. This is your Forensic Update. Illegal ivory trade has killed nearly 100,000 elephants over the course of a decade. Researchers at the University of Washington are using DNA to track down the poachers. The team at the University of Washington Center for Conservation Biology had already traced the major poaching hotspots in Africa in a 2015 study. Their recent work was built on those DNA findings to connect 38 large ivory shipments to just 3 operating cartels. Using a genetic reference map, ivory could be traced to an elephant population within a region of about 186 miles. Dr. Samuel Wazer, the director of the center, says creating the link allows the cartels to be prosecuted for more than just a single isolated seizure.
To our surprise, we found that over the last decade, virtually 100% of the ivory was coming from just 2 places. The same cartel is pulling ivory out of the same place over and over again, and he's probably, in fact, funding the operations of the poachers on the ground. So you can see now, if you get the guy that's consolidating all this stuff and moving it out, and he's controlling operations on the ground, then you really have a chance of nailing somebody.
You can read more about the team's efforts, including the method they developed to test a representative subsample of tusks, on our As Seen on the Forensic Update page. If trace amounts of cocaine can be found on common public surfaces like a shopping cart, how much can be found on a toxicology's lab bench? The background levels of narcotics were tested in 3 separate forensic laboratories in a partnership with the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, and the Maryland State Police Department. Using DART-MS to identify which drugs and LC-MS-MS to measure how much, at least 13 different substances, including fentanyl, were present in the labs. Researchers say the level is low enough to not contaminate casework at most labs, but could come into play if testing sensitivity is increased. The protocol is available to replicate in your own lab, and a follow-up study is planned. NIST is seeking public comment on a review evaluating forensic science methods. The goal is to answer the question, quote, what empirical data exists to support the methods that forensic science practitioners use to analyze evidence? 2 reviews, one for DNA and another for bite marks, are already underway. You can read the paper and find out how to submit your comment with the link on our website. A unique U.S. Air Force program embeds skilled personnel inside industry defense contractors. The reason? To better understand how the 2 sides can work together on contracts. We sat down with Ken Santamaria as he started his 10-month fellowship here at NFSTC at FIU to learn more about the program.
The Air Force in particular, and really the DoD at large, is really interested in acquisition reform. And they're trying to reach out to either non-traditional, which includes academia, to learn how to better innovate. They think there's a lot of innovation, a lot of best practices they could glean from businesses in those non-traditional sectors. The government and DoD can place a lot of additional burdens that they're not really aware of. I think my experiences here can impact NFSTC and FIU by getting the DoD and government and our programs managed out of SOCOM to better understand how they can capitalize on all the research, development, and innovation that's going on in this area of expertise and apply that to our businesses and practices in meeting the warfighter's demands in a more efficient and effective manner. I'm just, very impressed with the amount of work that's going on here with such a small company and the limited resources they have and what they're able to produce. And with that reach back now to Florida International University, I just see that growing and growing.
Looking for a summer research fellowship? Applications are now open for up to 10 spots at the Los Alamos National Laboratory in 2 areas, nuclear and radiochemistry and actinide science. We've put the application details on our website. The International Forensic Research Institute at FIU invites you to join the multi-part speaker series. Our own Kevin Lothridge kicks off the series with a deployable laboratories presentation on October 17th. Registration for the free web seminars can be found at ifri.fiu.edu. Don't forget to follow us on our social media channels, and from all of us here at NFSTC at FIU, I'm Bill Duffin. Thanks for watching the Forensic Update.